Today we're going to talk about why you don't have to exercise to lose weight. Yep, I said it. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Common Weight Loss Myths. So, many of my patients who come to meet me for the first time often open with, I don't think I'm going to be able to lose weight because I can't exercise like I used to when I was in my 20s and 30s. Remember, I work with a lot of patients who have pretty advanced arthritis. They're waiting for a joint replacement, like a hip or a knee, and they're really limited in their mobility. And they truly believe, because society and a lot of medicine has told them, if you can't exercise, you're never going to succeed in losing weight. That is a myth. So let's first of all talk a little bit about the science of how many calories you burn in a day. So when we talk about caloric expenditure, we look at how many calories you burn in a 24-hour period. So 70% of those calories are actually made up of what's called your resting metabolic rate. So we've talked about this in other videos. That's how many calories you burn just breathing, just sitting, just being, essentially a human being. We don't really have any control over how many calories we burn from our resting metabolic rate. Another 10% or so is accounted for by literally using energy to metabolize and burn the food that you eat. So that's another 10%, so we're at 80 now. That leaves about 20% of how many calories you burn in a day up to moving around. And I'm not saying just exercise, literally moving, like I am right now with my hands. Fidgeting, twitching, doing the laundry, walking around your house, 20%. So that's a really small component to your daily energy expenditure, essentially. And here's the thing. When you try to manipulate that, your body's metabolism adjusts to how many calories you burn. So this is a concept we sometimes will refer to as compensation. So the more you exercise, often what happens is your body spends fewer calories when you're not exercising. So for example, if you were to work out really hard for an hour, oftentimes your body will compensate by trying to burn fewer calories the other 23 hours that day. So a really interesting concept that weight loss scientists have looked into is there's tribes in Tanzania. So these are traditional hunter-gatherers who spend hours throughout the day walking countless miles on foot. And you would think, oh, they must burn so many more calories than some of us who sit home in front of the TV. Not the case. So they actually end up burning the same number of calories as sedentary North Americans, which seems crazy. But if you think about it, if the more you exercise, the more calories you burn and there's no compensation, you eventually would just end up burning so many calories, you have no more energy reserves and you essentially perish because there's nothing left to you. So it's essentially your body's way of just trying to adjust and kind of basically keep a steady state. Also, when you start to exercise more, oftentimes you're hungrier. Now, the studies on this are a little conflicting. Some studies show that sometimes you're less hungry for an hour or so after exercise. Some say you're actually hungrier. Some say no change at all. But we do know that your body tends to say, hey, we're burning more calories. We need to eat more calories. And really, again, that makes sense. Your body's just trying to kind of maintain that steady state. And also, we tend to significantly overestimate how many calories we are burning and underestimate how many calories we're eating. So, for example, going for a moderate pace walk for an hour burns about 300 calories. Now, if you were to come home after that walk and eat a single slice of pepperoni pizza, that's 300 calories. That's your walk. Now, at the same time, a lot of my patients say, I ate this, and this today, but I still went for my walk and I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. It's because it's that misbalance. The amount of exercise you have to do to compensate for the calories you're taking in is very mismatched. And you'll often hear on social media, you cannot out-train, you cannot out-exercise a poor way of eating. And if we look at the actual scientific studies about, well, how many calories are you burning in terms of how much does that cause for weight loss, If you took an average male and had him exercise, let's say run an hour 4 times a week for an extended committed period of time, and he did nothing else in his life, he didn't eat more, he didn't eat less, nothing else, he'd lose 5 pounds. That's it. Most of my patients can't run 4 hours a week, and it only really adds to an extra 5-pound weight loss. So it's not the critical intervention when it comes to weight loss. Now, I am absolutely not here to discourage you from exercising. We know there are so many benefits to exercise when it comes to sleep, diabetes, mood, blood pressure, heart disease, countless benefits to exercise, and I highly encourage it. Actually, from a weight loss perspective, we know that weight loss maintenance, for that piece, exercise is essential. There is something called the National Weight Control Registry, where they looked at over 10,000 patients who lost over 30 pounds and maintained it for a year in the United States. And one of the consistent interventions that they made to maintain their weight loss was exercising for an hour each day. So that helped them keep the weight loss off. In addition, in particular, strength training or weight loss training is really important to not only maintain muscle mass, but also help prevent that reduction in resting metabolic rate that we often see when we start to lose weight. Remember, in my other videos, we've talked about how when you start to lose weight, your resting metabolic rate decreases, and weightlifting or resistance exercise can really help with that. So my take-home message today is don't stop exercising because it's not the be-all and end-all for weight loss. Do as much as you can in the body that you have for all the other health benefits. But what I am here to say is, if you can't work out or exercise as much as you think you should or you want to, I can still help you lose weight, and I look forward to working with you. Hope that helps.